All right. Go.
So, of course, in the pilot episode, there's a bit of a twist regarding your character, which will get revealed.
Yes.
How much can you talk about that twist?
I can't. Those of you who know me know I'm pretty forthcoming when it comes to the characters. I'm like, can be quite voluble about it. But in this instance, there's a lot of things that we have in the quiver that we don't want to shoot off right now, and so there's not so much I can say about that. But I can say that any good comic book carries twists and turns and secrets like that kind of thing, and in many ways Barry Allen, played by Grant Gustin, is what I'm finding out is perhaps the most easily definable character, because there's 100 years of mythology, and then it's pretty clear what he wants. Those goals are stated quite clearly, whereas the rest of us, are operating on necessarily on many different levels, myself included, and that as actors is awesome to play.
Well, was it the big twist that kind of drew you to the show?
Yes.
So you read that script and went, that's my character, I'm playing that?
No, even before that, I had worked with Greg Berlanti and Andrew Kreisberg before. In the first instance, Greg had was doing a show called Jack and Bobby, and he had the role of a gay, cocaine-addicted brother, which was so much fun to play. And then subsequent to that, said, hey, I got this thing on Eli Stone, playing the dad with a secret. That was so much fun to do. So when they called again, they're like, we got something. I went and, we talked, and they sort of like closed the door and laid out the show. And at that point, you talked to Jesse about it. Like, Jesse played it cool. I was like, work this thing through. Jesse was like, he was at the tea room in New York. We both live in New York. And he was walking out. He said, I think he played it cool for a couple of days. I'm going to think it over. But he walked away from the meeting with Greg, and he's like, I'm doing this show. So, yeah, they're good people. I'm sure they're tremendous people to be in business with. Whether the show goes or not, some of them do, some of them don't. But, they really are interested in the story first. They just... Greg has kind of conquered Hollywood, and yet is one of the more humble men you'll ever meet. And I think largely it's because he really loves his projects and wants them to go and do well. And you see that from somebody like that, and it's like, yeah, great. We can all try and tell the story as best we can.
Does Wells kind of see Barry more as a project, or does he see him as a person first, or as a combination?
Tremendous question. Yeah, both.
How does he kind of approach Barry then? Going after the pilot, kind of?
Barry has sort of like 3 large male influence roles in his life. His dad, clearly, but his dad is in prison, and that sort of governs everything that the engine that spurs Barry on is all from his dad being accused of murdering his mother and ending up in prison. The man that raised him, Detective Joe West, played by Jesse, is like his de facto on the ground father. And then something incredible happens. And our show begins with, not to be too philosophical about it, but we have a big bang that starts the show off, and maybe that's a little poetic, but it kind of is, and from the moment that bang hits him and he's struck by lightning, Wells kind of becomes one of the biggest influences on him in his new persona. Like, the guy who's his father figure in this new persona is Wells. Wells is happy to play that role, but it's not just that role, as you said, for Wells.
Is there a particular Flash villain that you'd really like to see on the show?
Well, yeah. You see me, right? We talked last week, and I'm like, can I? Yes, and he's coming.
Is it you?
What's that?
Is it you?
I don't know what you're talking about. There is an episode. I mean, like, I think we talked about last week, right? It's like these guys are just like boom, boom, boom. I'm like, what? Already? Like, if you follow the thing, you're kind of like, well, that's good, but keep that in the back pocket till, and they're like, bam, there's the ace, bam, bam, and it's awesome to see. And yeah, episode 104 already.
We know.
Oh, damn it. Yeah, but when you say I get, no pun intended, I get the chills. I'm like, right? Really? I mean, and that's like, so I'm going to have to pick a new villain for like episode 8 and 9, you know? There's a fun
crossover.
Anyway.
This feels like a little bit of a different genre for you acting-wise. But you seem very enthusiastic about it. How much are you personally enjoying being on an action-y, comic booky show like this?
I love it. You know, Greg and I were giggling over this scene that I shot. I just love it. I think it allows you to, there's a couple things about it. In terms of like the structure of it, shooting an hour long generally means I need some damn 20 more mil stat, or like you stood there and then you walked over there. I can tell from the blood in the scene. Like it's like, or it's like a show that I did, Ed, an hour long, which wouldn't get done today. There's just no chance that show takes up an hour of programming time about a small town. It's just, it's very, very hard to get, 43 minutes of that up and running if it's got comedy to it. And it's still a drama, essentially, with heart. Those things are completely rare. You see them falling by the wayside again and again and again, and it's a shame. I kind of like those shows. The Flash is got this massive engine behind it. It's Comic-Con, and it's for the CW, extremely smart opportunity for them to like hook their wagon to something that's going to bring in not just the demographic that they're known for. It's going to bring these people in, us, anybody that goes to the multiplex in the summers to see the Avengers, and like I say, we started from the very beginning, so you don't have to be a comic book person to come on board. Smart for them. The action, tremendous, and then the humor. I think one of the cards that we have in our back pocket. This is extremely beneficial for us. Is most hour-longs don't have this lightheartedness, and we have all the stuff, but we have that is like a mandate from the guys to bring that again and again and again. And I love that part of it. I love the fact that we have like these moments of levity, as well as all the action, as well as the stories that we have necessarily untold. I think a lot of that comes from the fact that sometimes a lot of superheroes are, sitting with cowls and brooding up above, whereas we got Barry Allen, who's like, whoa! He's like very innocent, and it's, a very regular person, and it's appealing.
What are the challenges of working on a chair? Wheelchair. That's got to be something different for you. You're kind of a live wire.
Well, off camera, it's, but yeah, it's not. If you watch the pilot, he's completely not defined by the wheelchair. So in a strange way, it's not a massive factor. It's something we had to get comfortable with for the pilot, but it was, and there was a few things that we needed to do. There was kind of challenges in the sense that Wells is the smartest guy in the room, and you don't want, figuratively people talking down to him. But then we have a spectacular director in David Nutter, and that sort of, if you watch a pilot, that ended up not being an issue whatsoever. As an actor, I think that would be the only concern you would have, is like being able to marry the stature of the character with the physical appearance. But the world is completely populated with extremely intelligent people, some of the most intelligent people we've ever seen, who are in that situation. So it was not an issue. And then, as you saw from the pilot, there's other dimensions too, which make it easier to play a number of things. He said very vaguely.